guys, I'm bringing you part 3 of my Dragon NaturallySpeaking review, where I focus on a lot of key tips and tricks on how to maximize the usefulness of the software. I talk a little bit about the read that feature, and I talk about the playing back feature, as well as how to use the international alphabet to make spelling unique words a lot easier. Hope you enjoy this one. Thanks for watching. Now, in talking to a few of my friends and colleagues, a couple of people have mentioned to me a few things that they would like to know more about. And those that have used the software, myself included, can speak about the frustrations related to editing our dictated documents. I used to have a really hard time reviewing and editing documents that I had dictated. It was not something I enjoyed doing. It was time consuming. There were recognition errors all over the place. I didn't always know because I had written so much and then taken a break and then went back and then reviewed. And then I didn't always know what I was trying to say. The recognition error didn't make sense. I couldn't put the pieces together. And ultimately, a lot of the time, I would get really frustrated and just not do it at all. And ask somebody else with a fresh pair of eyes to review my document that I had dictated. But in an effort to become more independent, I've developed a couple key strategies that I think are absolutely critical when dictating documents, especially if we're talking about students who are dictating papers, or if we're talking about people in the working environment who are dictating reports for their bosses, or whatever the case may be. It's really important that you leverage the power of the software to help you deal with some of those editing challenges. One of my challenges is that my eyes often skip over mistakes. I don't see them, even though I've increased the font size to a point where I really shouldn't miss anything. Oftentimes, my eyes will see words that I want to see and not see things I don't want to see. Right? The brain has a way of kind of helping us to skip over things relatively easily. So, let's get into some strategies that I use to help me combat that. The first one is the read that feature. So let me demonstrate that to you now. If I put my mouse on the paragraph that I want to review, and then I click, and then I tell Dragon, wake up, select paragraph, read that.
I am now using a brand new voice file. It is as if I am a brand new user of the software with no previous information for the software to draw upon. As you can see, it's still very good at recognizing my voice.
Go to sleep. Now, if there had been any recognition errors in that paragraph, then I would have been able to pick it up a lot easier, because the text-to-speech is not going to skip over those recognition errors the way my eyes do, because my brain tells my eyes to skip. Okay? So the computer reading it to me helps me to pick up quickly when there's a recognition error in there. Okay? So we can see that there's a lot of potential in using the read that feature to review the document. But let's say there's something else and we're really not sure what we were trying to say there at all. And we really want to figure out what we were trying to say. If we actually tell Dragon to play back. Play that back. It'll play back the selection that we have. Watch. Wake up. Play that back. Dragon NaturallySpeaking is the industry leader in voice recognition software and has the ability to open a lot of doors for those with challenges with written communication. Period. Go to sleep. So ultimately, guys, what we see here is that we have the ability to not only have a computerized text-to-speech review, but we can also review the recorded voice of ourselves to really pinpoint what we were trying to say. So, with those two strategies in mind, and using the strategy, of course, of breaking down and reviewing smaller pieces. So when you complete a paragraph by voice, it might be a good idea to review each paragraph as you're going along, so that you're not going back after you've written 10 to 12 pages and reviewing each paragraph that way. Okay? So having regular review of shorter bits of text is probably one of my key pieces of advice. And using those strategies and the tools that are available within Dragon to help you with that recognition or those error recognitions can be very, very helpful to you. Okay? Now, another point that I wanted to make is about spelling unique words that Dragon doesn't necessarily know or understand. So it could be somebody's name, it could be a particular, you know, word that's not common in the English language that you want to have Dragon recognize. So let's talk about how we can do that and how we can train Dragon to recognize those things, okay? Bacha. Correct that. Go to sleep. Okay, so my bacha friends, or bachi friends in Canada, you know what I was trying to say there. And you know that Dragon is not going to recognize bacha, okay? Because bacha is a very unique sport, and it's something that Dragon's not going to come with an understanding with right off the bat. So there is a way for you to train Dragon to recognize it easier, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you spell that feature, okay? And you can click this using the mouse, or you can say wake up, spell that. Cap, Bravo, Oscar, Charlie, India, Alpha. Go to sleep. Now, guys and girls, what you'll notice is that when I was spelling out the word bacha, I wasn't using letters, BOCCIA. I was using the international alphabet. And this is another tip that I think you'll get nowhere else when using Dragon. And this comes from years and years of using older versions of the software. Back in the day, Dragon didn't let you spell out words unless you used the international alphabet. So I actually had to learn the international alphabet in order to be able to spell these unique words. But what I noticed is that even when I tried to spell words using just letters, because now Dragon can do that, so I could have said Boccia. Well, I noticed that its recognition wasn't that great. Why? Because things like B and P and D and T, they all sound very, very similar. There's not a lot that distinguishes those sounds from one another. But if I say the word Bravo, and I say the word Tango, Bravo, Tango, Bravo, Tango, they now sound very different. And now Dragon can distinguish those sounds very quickly. And it's much easier for Dragon to recognize those letters if we use the international alphabet. Okay, so that's one of my key tips as well. Alright, so we have an uncommon word that Dragon doesn't really understand, has never really come across. So what can we do to help Dragon recognize this? Well, you'll notice here we have a train feature. Okay, so if we simply again say wake up, train, click train, bacha, click train, bacha, click save. So guys, what I've shown you here is that we have a lot of flexibility in the software to be able to correct and give it new and novel information, train really unique words and names into the system, and I've given you some really critical strategies on how to navigate and how to edit your dictated documents. Hi, so I think that this brings us to a logical end to the Dragon NaturallySpeaking review. There are a couple topics that I didn't get to cover in these videos, namely internet browsing using your voice and also navigating using the mouse and other input devices with your voice. There are some features that allow you to control the mouse by voice, and if this is something you would like me to cover in more detail, I will certainly be happy to present a fourth video on Dragon, but I had to make some decisions on the topics that I thought would be most relevant to the vast majority of people watching. So I decided to focus my attention on the 3 videos that you have on YouTube now. And as far as the navigating the web, I will be honest with you, this is something that Nuance, the makers of the software, are going to have to address, because it is one of the most, it is probably the weakest point to be made for the software. I had a lot of frustration using the voice features for navigating the web. It doesn't matter what web browser you use or what web extension you're using, it seems to be a challenge. So this is a weak point for the software, and if I had to put one negative spin on the entire package, it's that their web features are not useful in my opinion, and this is something that needs to be addressed in future versions. So I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you got something out of them. If you like this video, please like this at the bottom. If you really liked all 3 of the videos, please hit the subscribe button and give me your feedback. As always, if you have a product or software package that you'd like me to have a look at and review, please drop me a line, either in the comments or by email, and I will certainly do my best to review products in the coming weeks. Thanks very much for watching, guys.